Quiz up.
Sorry, mate. I was going to go back to call him Ivanka, whatever it was we originally called him, because he had that weird Q in his name. But anyway, playing path, as you can see on your screens, it is a pretty much
この日は
straight
実況
through
解説が違
the
う人
only
なん
team
だ
that's going to have an issue is probably Navi. It does look like they're going to be last out. They may even go down Valle del Mar. No, they're just going to catch some West vehicles and go back up to La Cabrera.
I'm wondering where they go here.
They will. They'll go back
They
up.
should do. I don't think they'd go anywhere else. It's not worth it. Well, they're sat in 3rd place right now. You're not going to go, oh yeah, change it up.
Where is Nuki? Oh, Nuki's just tracking them. Right.
He might just be sticking around just to, you know, linger.
I thought for a minute I thought it was
なんで
in
ヌーキーだけ降りるの遅れたんだろうね。
47 guys. I was like,
You're going the wrong way.
why are you
The
going?
breeze has carried him to the north.
あ、一緒か
Got a
組み合わ
strong
せ。
wind, I can't help it.
GSL.
Oh.
Hello. That's a nice one. That's a lovely circle. I like a little bit of variation. And when I say that, it just means that I like to see people have to play into it.
Well, Pozo's slap bang in the middle, so this is an interesting one. Obviously, we've seen a bunch of these sort of pull up to Cabrera,
あ、だよね、一緒っぽいよ
or
ね。
even go down south. We saw that really wild western circle last week. So there's a lot of options for this one. FaZe they're going to be rubbing their hands. Same with the Knights. These are circles that absolutely have benefited them in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, and I'm just going to have a little look and see where some of these have ended up on this much of a, I guess, polarizing side, right? At least during this phase, we've had a few that have been pretty much around Pozo. There's not much more to it. They haven't gone far crazy towards the north. Hasn't been too much to the south.
I don't recall anything really north and west of sort of Pozo. They'll sort of even directly north of Pozo, and then anything west, like that whole 4 or 5 grids. I don't think we've seen anything that way. So it generally always goes south side.
Well, I think
さっきのマッチ96が嘘かのような。
It can only go there so much, and then it will rip right back in towards that Pozo side of things. So even though if it does, hard shift that way, eventually it's gonna move back that side.
Look at that. Pre 3 minutes again. Jempty is off and moving. He's already heading down there. He's going to get himself a little bit of loot in and around there, and he's trying to move in position. This is something we need to see from Liquid today. We need to see a big performance.
Well, the one thing that
we did see something similar. It may not always be Jempty. It may be just one of the Liquid members. I have a feeling it was James at one point.
これ今のチームのチームマークじゃん。
They watch them with like hawks. But I've seen them do this like kind of leaning out a little bit, doing a little bit more of the isolated areas, maybe picking up some of the more trash loot, but it is loot. But they've had those scuffles with Gamer Legion. They started to be pushed back as well, and Gamer Legion weren't afraid to fight. None of these teams are afraid to fight anymore. They'll have that little back and forth. Now this is far away enough you're not going to get that. The Knights perfectly content where they are as well. So I think Jempty is okay for now. Right back in toward. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Thing we need to see from Liquid today.
ここのチームロゴと一緒じゃん。
See a big performance.
Well, the one thing that we did see something similar. It may not. Magic.
Architecture.
Magic.
It's not how it works. Actually, to be fair, I guess if it was fancily done.
Do you reckon this is fancily done?
In this setting, not too sure. I feel like
my immersion is ruined.
I feel like someone's got their architecture wrong on that building. Gustav and TSM, they're on the move, and obviously they have to skirt around San Martin and try and work the way in. I do wonder where they decide to post themselves. Drayden, by the way, has already got that compound. You know the one I'm talking about, the one south of Pozo in the fields, and is the Knights claiming that one. Expect to see FaZe go into also the road compounds, maybe go for a 2-2 split. We'll see where they go. The circle is, as I say, a little bit further north than the usual spot.
Now, this is the one thing about this circle. Most of the teams will sit in that kind of southeast area. So you're going to see a lot of them very, very close by. So, where Na'Vi is right now, if you're thinking about where you saw them looting, it does look a little scary because they're all on their own, but it's very unlikely teams are going to post up that way. They may rotate through there if they're maybe one of the further out teams looking for some safety in. Maybe M47 coming up through the south, but they'll probably have their eyes set on something else. Might just sit.
そういうアディダスのパーカー届いてたの俺。パーカーっていうかジャージみたいなやつ。アディダスのジャージっぽいやつ買ったんだよ。
Now again, eyes turn towards Liquid, and what they're going to do today? Are we going to see, the world-class Liquid? Are we going to see the one that looks a little broken? And I feel like it can be a bit of a switch sometimes. You don't know who you're going to get.
They're taking a really south route when you consider they've basically gone through Monte Nuevo now. So they've kind of come out. Gamer Legion have gone ahead of them. So it looked like they were going to go early, but this may be an adjustment the Team Liquid have had to make. God knows they've needed it because it has been a rough couple of weeks for them. So I'm interested to see how it develops. TSM standard for them. They're going to pull up on this hill. This is almost a standard rotate for TSM these days.
And let's talk about what TSM have done this season.
最近ちょこちょこ服買ってるよ。
Honestly, I didn't expect it, but I was so
汚ねえ
happy
格
when
好
I
すんじゃねえ
saw
っ
it.
て怒られ
You
るから。
saw that firepower element coming in. You saw them kind of just bring all those perfect complementary styles
小
together.
汚ねえ
And it's
格好
paid
で
off
外
so
出るん
well.
じゃ
And
ね
I
えっ
think
て言
they
われ
so
るから。
far are setting the bar in my eyes of a good team.
I'm glad for Iroh as well because
Absolutely.
he stuck.
Oh,
Oh, I lost the tire on that last bullet. That sucks. He's going to hop onto Hamster's bike. Oh no, he's thinking, who shot me? Who shot me? Who was it? But yeah, I'm so happy for Iroh because obviously he stuck it out with DA for as long as he could, really.
Hold on,
Stage
we got
Oh!
contact. Hold on.
Ivor's caught one off. This is not good.
なんか珍しいやられ
And
方
look
し
at
て
the
るな。
cover. Liquid have so little cover, Lee. They're so out in the open. They have some cars and bits and pieces, but they don't have much to work with. That third party, I think,
増
from
量してるよ、
phase
徐々に。
might have just allowed them to kind of temper
徐々
Ivan.
に、徐
This
々
is
に。
almost Team Liquid trying to play safe. They've gone for the full western edge and they're thinking, what the hell is our team doing here? They've not counted on the fact that N47 went down to Valadolmar and it's completely caught them off. They're trying to play it safe. I don't know whether they should just play as they were or they're obviously trying to make adjustments, but they are surrounded here.
Someone's threed up as well. I just saw a gun that you only get out of those crates. So, don't know what's happened with Merp. It's not gone well. Twitch chat will be enamored with what's just occurred. Tixu, good to see in the kill feed. This man was a monster just yesterday.
フェーズ3は本当に
And the monster strikes. Tixu
上位にいたからそんなに悪いわけじゃないんだろうけど、
Three of them.
なんかニップってあんまりこうパッとしない感じになっちゃったね。
MBS, you're just going to bleed out. Tixu's just waiting to say, come on, somebody come and revive him. Maybe Misa's got the
まあ見てるところが
24
たまたま
ready, and he
説
just
はあ
got
ると思うけ
MBS.
ど。
And that is not good for NIP. 3 down.
好きすぎでしょ。
Team Liquid looks like they got out of there safely. Did they get all 4 back on their feet? No. No, they
でも結局見ててこれよくねとかこれ可愛くねとかこれおしゃれやなって言って満足しちゃうんだよな。ふう満足したっつって終わるんだよな。買う手前で満足する。
Yeah, they are a hungry team for kills, though. They're the ones that you want to be a little afraid of sometimes.
Got Reciprocity coming in way up the north, raise your edge as well. They're also coming in. This is north of La Cabrera, so they're coming way in around the top. Sort of just a little wary that maybe Na'Vi could be in the town, but as we can see, they're long gone. Reciprocity doing the same. They've just come into the northern spot. And this is almost a reciprocity thing or a scoom thing, I would say, more than anything, that he'll always take these routes where basically he expects no one to be.
Now, let's throw our minds back to that really good Send It game that they had where they took one of the best compounds. It was on Miramar too.
Yeah.
I think it was either 1 or 2. I think it was the first one. And that was when NIP picked up the victory in the end. But that call from him was so perfectly balanced. It was, okay, calm, calm, calm. Suddenly, let's go for high priority.
ゴリラにめちゃくちゃ念押されたからね。
Really nicely done. That's when you start to
冬服買っときなよ。
And then it's inconsistent. So I'm hoping
知らないからね。寒くなるからね。
Desperado's coming in on the southern road, just slightly south of N47 here.
1週間後、買ったの？いや、まだ買ってないです。ダメだよ、買わないと。はい。はい、わかりました。
Somewhat expected. TSM are delighted with this pull. The Knight's going to be sitting there. I'm wondering, you know, is this now going to pull down to the southeast? Are we going to see it come back to power grid like we did yesterday?
It could. That's the thing, isn't it? It genuinely could. It's very unlikely to end.
いや、俺実家に住んでた時はオカンじゃなかったからな。実家に住んでた時は、俺があまりにも何も買わなすぎて、気づいたらばあちゃんとか母親が服を買ってきて、ただそれを黙って着る。いや、黙って着てねえな。文句は言ってたな。え？いや、俺こんなの着ないよ。弟に着させなって。
South, Game of Legion, they're trying to send it to the compound, just trying to blast past the Knights across the road. They're going to get in safe. DA are doing a similar job, so I don't really know where they're going to end up. Sixmo is up on the hill. Okay, they're going to end up on the road compound down north of Monte Nuevo.
So you want to talk about playing
買わねえくせに文句だけは垂れる
statistics
んだよ。
and Death Valley, which
最
is
悪だ
just
よ。
north of G2 currently. If you know what I mean, it's the one with those big
パンツ
hillsides
と靴
outside,
下
very
は
likely
黙って
finish
全部入っ
towards
てたけ
it,
どね。
or power grid. They're your kind of likelihoods. And the best part of that is that eastern side is pretty open. So if these teams can send it all the way around, if they're willing to go
親は
down
すごい
each
ね、
way, which it
ピ
looks
チ
like
ッ
maybe
とした服を着させようとするん
Liquid
だ
could
よ。
be looking at, Ents are definitely doing it. that could open up opportunity. Those teams stuck in the middle over by Craterfields, like right now, we're
ライ
seeing
ンがす
Fuzzface just lurking on top of
で
those rocks. That could be another easy pickup for FaZe here. That's going to be a very bloody battle, though, over there on the northwest.
Page confirming kill for N47, a team that is currently sitting in 4th in the table, just 63 points behind TSM. What a story would be for one of the rookie teams to come through and get that top spot. What a performance has been so far. Regardless, FaZe under fire. Aitzi, he's just going to return fire with Fuzz onto Adir. He's forced to duck down low.
And Fuzzface yesterday, the man was just so strong in holding those kind of dedicated angles, willing to take the fight.
Until he ran out of bullets.
Look, you gotta be in it to win it. Now, Reciprocity, horrible swap for them here. It's not pleasant by any margin.
何系って言うんだ、ストリート系っつうのかな。ズボンとかも結構ピチッとしたやつ。俺はダメなんだよ。俺は足が2本入る服しか履けない病気だったんだよ、昔は。片足のところに両足、果ては俺の腰まで入るようなやつじゃないと俺は着れなかったんだね。
Reciprocity and Fuzz still going at it.
Yeah, Fuzzface going down. It could be. It didn't look like he was over peaking, but maybe you just got tagged up potentially from the side, and then you saw that quick kind of barrel play, which that thing up close, it does work.
めっちゃ球よけるやん、Fuzzface.
Fuzzface is in the smoke.
Can Mexi get him?
I believe in Mexi. I believe in the revive. And look at the smoke
body
bait.
block. Look at the body block.
And I want to talk about that as well in a second because that nade looks pretty darn close. Bye-bye.
That was such...
Bye-bye.
Look at it. It's absolutely 100% perfect accuracy split between the two of them on the revive. And there's no one really near. Aitzi's already gone. Uber is a mile away.
And going back to that smoke point, I just want to highlight...
Aitzi's there. Aitzi's going to get it.
Do you reckon he's going to...
He's going for it. He's going for it. Shiv's making the push, though. We're watching Uber, but Shiv's making the push from the rock.
Oh, Shiv. This is dangerous. You already knew they were under fire. Shiv, that's a really risque peak, and I'm not sure if that was worth it.
Yeah, that did not work out well for Shiv, but Monkey's there to support. There we go. Reciprocity clicked 3 bodies from Faceland.
Yeah, what does Uber do now? Does he just commit? Does he just
Uber
play
なんで
into
こんな
it?
に引いてたんだろう。
Do what, you know what I mean? Is it snake time? But that doesn't feel like Uber. This guy's aggressive. This guy's a fragger. He wants to kind of get into the battle. And again, you've got to keep looking at that circle. It's going towards that eastern side again. It will pull away, I think, from where 7 Raise Your Edge are currently looking. I think it's going to go to that valley.
So this is one that Rich talked about last week. It does pull to this valley quite often. We haven't seen it too many times inside
TSM
PEL,
are going to send it right to those compounds. There's
They
a
go
couple of
straight to
compounds
G2.
on the road. And I think they're going to leapfrog G2. G2 have gone for the safer ones. I think TSM, we've seen them do this before. They're going to take this left and go down the road slightly. It's a little bit of a riskier play. And you're going to maybe meet ends. That's the thing. You've got a bit of a race here. They know this is a high value
俺が中学生の時に流行ってたのはあれだね。家内だね。
Gustav does go down in the rotate, but ends have backed out of the
俺が
fight.
中学生の時
And
に
maybe they could have got in there in time. They were 2-2 split, so
俺の
Ents
中
really
で流
didn't
行っ
have
た
the
のは
manpower
家
to
内だ
come in
ね。
and wrestle TSM from this one.
カール
Yeah,
家
well,
内。
they're playing percentages. It can still always go in other directions. We know that now. Liquid on the move, working their way between the likes of 7, who are quite central in that last circle, but now being pulled aside from it. But they have hard cover to play with here. Gustav got flushed in the end. That was between G2. That's to be expected. We're still looking at Reciprocity, looking at the remainder of NIP. A lot of that northwestern, those fights haven't been resolved yet. They're still bubbling away.
Even Legion, they've actually got Calvin Klein in the compound with them. I don't think they're going to realize it because he's on there on foot. The rest of Desperados are backing off up the hillside. You can see Brexico taking shots on them, but they're going to come in. I think this is going to be a clash on Gamer Legion. Gamer Legion not looking this way at all yet. So they're going to be somewhat surprised. Calvin is sneaking right upon them. Bit of revenge, if you remember yesterday. Bjorn caught 2 or 3 members of Gamer Legion, of Desperados off.
ナビいい場所だな。
Maybe Calvin can try and get some revenge here.
I think Calvin Klein, with that smoke coming in, he knows that his position is no longer a surprise. The smart plan, back away, reset, play it out, a little bit more of a standardized format. You want to be that kind of assassin when you're not noticed. As soon as you feel like you are and your angles are being watched, you're out of there.
Look at this rotate from Reciprocity once again. They're going up to the northern edge of the circle.
Yeah.
Nobody anywhere near, playing it safe. And it's working out for them, it seems, at the moment. Real's in trouble, he's gone. Smoke's not going to save him, he's going to bleed out before he gets there. Sigsy will steal the frag away from Team Liquid.
結構遠距離の射撃ってさっきから外しまくってるイメージあるな。
I don't think they realize how much damage they just did with that nade. Could have been a packet full of Pittsburgh Knights players. I don't know if that's an analogy, but there you go. A packet full of Pittsburgh Knights.
Oh.
Let's see that circle update. Still could go in a couple of directions, and it is going to close in on what we expected. Now, I want to talk about the upside and the downside between TSM's position and G2's. I don't like G2's position. I know it's slap bang central, and it's like, why do you not like it? Well, the problem in my eyes is you cannot leave that area. If it doesn't end on you, you die where you are. You can try and run, you can use your utility, but that whole base in that valley, you do not leave it. People like DA there, Ents there, TSM, Na'Vi will fall down this hillside. They all watch it.
I can see what you're saying. It'll get you to phase 6, but the game doesn't end in phase 6. It ends in phase 9. Team Liquid collecting 1. Uber also finishing off NIP, so a couple of 2 solos going at it there. They're a long way out. The Knights in all sorts of trouble. Crowd collecting names again. They had a cracking day yesterday. May well continue his trade and tries to get the flank around on them, but he's got 1 below and 1 to his right. Now 1 above, and Nuki in the end with the stab. Snark trying to do what he can to get him down. He will get Nuki down. He's got Tixu down low as well. Can he try and finish that one off? Goes for the peek on Timmy. Timmy realizes he's in the danger.
Yeah, you can't be out there. It's a great idea until he's actually willing to fight it. The nade's coming in as well. Hold on, this could be a pickup on both. Quite there.
Quite there.
A little too early. While this has been happening, you can see on your screens, Raise Your Edge, they crashed in and 7 are joining them. So G2's little compound that they held is suddenly now occupied by 2 other teams. And that's also the problem with this compound. It's too bloody big.
It can be shared, right? This is the thing. You can have...
なんだ今の車の挙動。
I want G2 to solidify.
右下の車の挙動何今の？
何これ？
バグ？
That's also the problem with this compound. It's too bloody big.
It can be shared, right? This is the thing. You can have even more teams in this. I want G2 to solidify on one side and just commit. I don't want them sitting on that 7 side. That's the thing. You can see everyone now looking that way. G2 maybe trying to make that move and getting caught off. Yanis maybe trying to make the play.
感染バグかな？ PKL でも車が見えないバグあったし。
Bring the ranks up, but now they're being punished for it.
The nades are going from Raise Your Edge. They're actually going towards 7 though, so they're trying to catch on Sadovnik. See the car wreckage working them out, but that Molly will go out. You can see Yanis should be able to get revived here by now. 7 have kind of been slowed up by the fact that Raise Your Edge have engaged on them. There's also TSM from the distance you can see trying to get some shots through there.
Reciprocity and Na'Vi. Na'Vi have a 2-2 split, literally surrounding Reciprocity on the hillside, just up on the camera. You can't really see it too much. I think Rory spotted that out too. Yeah, they're running the gauntlet. Scooms actually spotted Senya, but look at this fight he's having to take. He's going to lob nades up and hope for the best.
That's a pitch if he can try and make it work, but I'm not sure. He's going up early. Actually caught Senya with that one, I think. Udyr, it will buy him time. Gets the full heal off, so he's back to full health. Crowd have got everyone back on their feet as well. They're coming in on the western side at the moment as G2 have managed to get all 4 members across the road and safely in the compound together.
挟まれててきついな。
Shiv really does have some moves, doesn't he? Not hardly any of those bullets landing from Aduzi, but obviously Aduzi being very, very cautious and careful in the amount he peeks in, not over static, so he can't just line up those easy shots. Reciprocity are in danger here. They are literally in a valley with just 2 very scary splits on either side of them.
Well, I can tell you, Monkey, he's not very happy. He didn't have a good night's sleep. He says they're on the top floor, and he reckons there was a crow scuttering around or pecking away in his
just
roof.
Crow crowd.
And it was just, yeah, maybe it was Crow crowd.
They're on the way, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, Besalosh gets Udyr down. He's going to look down. Besalosh will, Aduzi will get Shiv. So 2 members of Reciprocity gone and out. And well, he's going to be gone because Pokemon and Besalosh just put some damage on him. And Reciprocity, while it looked like a great move to the north, has not worked out. And this may well be a big battle for position because the circle has shifted this way. It is a big northern shift, and now the teams down the south, oh my word, they're about to clash. That's going to be N47, Team Liquid, Gamer Legion, and Desperados all have to make a big move.
Crow crowd, here they come. Aduzi well aware, AK to hand spray. Not as clean as I'd like there. Turnaround comes in. Have to pick up the pieces, backs away, gets cover, resets the fight.
DA is sending it. They're going to join the party. Here we go on the bike. I'm not too sure it's the way they want to go. Beautiful Death will go down. Sixmo is still alive, though. Timmy getting caught out. It's Sadovnik. So 7 getting shots on the hill. Team Liquid are sending it. They've gone across the road. Ibi and Samti trying to make their way across. Mackendar getting caught out. That's Desperados catching the tail end of Gamer Legion down south. Sixmo finished off. That's DA going out in 13th place.
And putting it this way, we
にしてる
have
と
seen
前
an
帰ると
ending
2
where
帰ると
Crowd
2
sit,
入
but
る
you see that little dirt road that runs down this, you're not going to see an ending there. So all these teams, that's why they're flooding forward. They know they have to be the winners here. Gamer Legion down to 2-1, knock on Beyond, spraying it wildly, and they might even get connections. Everyone's on point grabs, because they know they might not survive past this moment.
Team Liquid's play may well have worked out so far, but they are starting to get caught out by 7. Desperados put Pate to Gamer Legion down south. That's going to work out in their favor and gets a bit of revenge for yesterday's Miramar game, as N47 also look to try and get out of this one. And T-Bone caught out, so Desperados picking quite a few kills up. Ibby done and flushed as Crowd returning the favor back onto Team Liquid. That may well leave Santi and Jeeves alone.
Let's see if he's going to land something that's going to make me lose my mind. Calvin Klein,
敵の
please.
視界のコントロールがうまいな。
あ、
ティクスうま
Take it away from him. Who Tiksu? See this, and this is where I want to look at teams like Crowd. This is where they just rack up those points. This is it.
9 kills and counting for Crowd. 9 kills and counting, and they've got Jeeves right below them. Big Tiksu's playing.
わあ、今のグレー読みうまかったけどな。
He's heard it. And that's going to be number 7 for Tiksu. This man is having an epic week so far. Taking down... Wow. So Samti's the last man standing for Team Liquid. Their move looked like it was paying off. They almost caught Crowd in the back, but you thought they were engaged with Na'Vi, but Na'Vi have allowed them to back away. And Crowd, wow, on that hillside.
He's in danger now, though, Tiksu. I'm a bit worried about him. I don't know if he's got survivability. He's so good at that, though. Like, he just treated one of the Liquid players like an absolute scrub the way he took that fight. He knew it 100%.
James as well.
The barrel. That thing is good, but you put it in the hands of someone like Tiksu, it's incredible. Right, we've gone to the side of the slope. It's got to
さっきから
surely
コメントで3、4人 PEL 超絶詳しいマンいるけど、全試合見てんの。
When they diverted from G2, they went to that compound. That compound is just about in, and it gives them access to the hillside and of course the circle.
今年分全試合見たマンいる。
But beyond that, you're in trouble because look at this downhill approach.
Now let's see who makes it out of this. You've got to imagine Razor Edge can shuffle in a bit. Okay, G2, 7, Desperados, enter off. Yeah, they're trying to make it in. Tiksu did go down. Survivability was limited.
They got Tiksu, yeah. So
they're running the hillside. They're trying to go on the side hit. And there's still a Liquid member. Samti's down there. Samti should see this. And it's just fire from afar. Na'Vi raining in bullets. Samti sees it. He's going to have to open up on them. Oh, he's got one. Can he control it on the second? No. Calvin Klein quicker on the trigger. And he does at least get maybe time for a heal as well.
Yeah, he should be able to get Simsy back on his feet as well.
Thomas
will try. Well, they lost 1 or 2 in the process, but they did run straight into reciprocity and finish them off. Oh no!
Senor, what?
Pinpoint onto the crate. They thought they were safe. No, Trifoli. Well, I don't think he can cover anything off. This is looking great game for Na'Vi, by the way. This hillside position has paid off for them.
And you know they're going to be so good at this. Look how ready they are on their positioning. 2 players watching the push up on the western side. 2 players just keeping control on the hill.
A doozy is collecting a lot of damage. Oh, here we go. This little play from 7. I don't know what they were trying there. Like, I'm going to make a pull-up. I'm going to go directly across the road. So they're staring straight at me. Good call, boys. Good call.
Crap. Ain't gonna get that one, is he?
今ぐらいの距離の打ち合いが PEL は一番多い印象がある。
That's not a bad idea. It's still just so tough. This is what I mean about this position.
それかもうイン
As
フ
soon
ァ
as
イ
it moves
ト。
away from this compound, no one makes it out alive.
Calvin is nicking the kills. Now they've spotted him. Now they've finished him off. But Calvin just collected about 2 or 3 points for his team.
Big yoink.
That's quite a few kills for Desperados. I think they may well come out with 10 kills in that one. Crowd obviously similar. We saw Tiksu at 7 kills alone. A Molly finish. Chris goes down, raise your edge. They'd lost 1 in the surge. Tell a lie. Yes, they did. They did. Lost the Menox somewhere in that surge. But Krabic, the last man standing for 7. No helmet, no prayer, really. TSM with 3 alive, Ents with 2. Na'Vi with 4 in the hills. You got to feel that this game is Na'Vi's to win.
It's certainly in their control. That's what I'm looking at. I want to see their next moves in the next circle, see how they approach it. Crab's gone down. 4 teams, as you said, and we're seeing the movement coming out from Na'Vi. They're slowly moving forward. You see that line, that wall being built up there that just keeps vision across the entirety of the map. And it is hard to fight uphill. It's not a nice peak to be making because you're going to have Razor Edge potentially finding across towards TSM, and then you have Ents in the middle. And it's actually going towards them. This is a bit of a rarity. It should, again, keep moving away from that, but it's got room to be played into. And Na'Vi's positioning is still soaking. They are
ツイ
basically
ッター
the
やっ
best
てる陽
position.
キャってイ
There
メー
was
ジ
a。buggy just rolled down the hill. Where did that come from? I was like, Ensis, I don't know.
PL 見てる
Kneecast
勢
is just
は
quaking just
Someone
hearing
just
a car.
sent it
配
down
信
there.
と
Where's your
か
edge? Here we go.
Oh dear.
配
Yeah.
信と
As soon as
か
there's some accurate shots and
なん
best
か
launch there. And this is the
こう
thing, right?
12 kills.
They have this big
陰
hill
陰キャ
approach, staring down.
いや悪口じゃない
Linksy
です
made
よ
it.
悪口言ってる
And
わけじ
now
ゃないです
TSM
よ
are kind of screwed because Linksy
なんか
made it.
SNS で
Tormentor's going to try and follow.
喋ってるような感じじゃなくてこうなんか本当に怖そうって感じ
Is
です
there a plateau? Bestilosh
Not
might be able
quite
to see
inside.
it.
He's not quite inside, is he?
No, if he
ツ
shuffles
イッ
up
タ
a
ーとかで
bit,
さ
Wait,
結構
Trev's
そ
got
の
a big
PUBG 完成
that could
勢
actually
で
change
す
things a
って
little
言っ
bit
てる
in
人いる
that
じゃん
mindset. Here comes that awkward trade.
そういう
You
人は
highlighted it
PJS と
perfectly. It's going to be
PKL
TSM suffering
と
because people
まあ
have
その
got
中
their
国の大会と
cross.
か見てるイメージが
Yeah,
強
and
くて
that's- I don't think they're going to get
なんか
roared
そういう
back up to speed
SNS
from that one. The
SNS とか
smoke's
で
kind of like
PKL
just
見て
a
ますあ
red rag
PL
to
見て
a
ま
ball
す
for the
っ
Russians.
て人はあんまり
Ends though with that little position
い
they
ない感
got,
じが
it
する
could
こ
cause
う
a
ひっそ
problem
り
for
と
Na'Vi because two of the hillside players do need to
苦
make
労
this
とみ
move.
たいな感じで
Tormentor's gonna
多くは
try and
語ら
get
ねえ
onto
ぜみたいな
Linksy,
感じ
not
で
gonna be able to get it
応援してる感
revive
じ
in time, but he's looking to put Pate to more TSM to get some more kills.
Yeah, Tormentor trying to maybe. It's when you switch into I'm just going to try and play for third place, for second. You know, I just want to snake
そう
it.
なんか話し合う
Just
ってい
realised
う
how
より
exposed he was to Pokemon there. As soon as he turned around, he's
なんか
just
ちょっと
getting
違う
Links's nades, Util, etc. But look at this, Navi's position. It is one of supremacy. Looking down the hillside, that's a really nice position, Kara, as well by that rock.
They've got it all. They're going to have to make some
なんかこうやっ
horrific
て見てる
errors
と
to lose this one. And I don't see it happening.
Nice.
Coleman's
ミニ
helping
の
out if anything.
キル
That's good.
率
If he
の
can get the
方
points for
が
that, that'd be really, really nice for him.
7ミリの
Bleeding out.
DMR より高い気がするな
I don't think TSM have got a kill yet. I think they're on 0.
I wouldn't be surprised.
PEL.
Though.
Oh no, they've got Linksy maybe. Maybe.
I don't know. And the only other way this could have gone differently is if Ents got involved and they just haven't been. They've been passive the whole time through. Yeah, positioning's
なん
great,
か
but they
SKS
had the chance
と
to maybe put up a fight. in this,
SLR
but
はすごい外
they
してる
might
シー
end
ン
up
を見る
going
んだ
out
け
here
ど
rather than trying to
ミ
play
ニ
into
めっ
it a
ちゃ
bit
当て
more,
て
which
る
I
シーン多い
prefer
わ
to have seen.
あとなんかライフルの3倍タップみたいな4倍タップみたいな感じ
He's just holding the angle. Iroh having a peek, seeing what he can do. Thriftily will bleed out. And that leaves 3 little snakes versus 4 members of Na'Vi with 14 kills. It could be a 17 kill game. They are the only
ど
team
っちかっていうと
alongside G2
PKL
to
と
get
かは
17 kills.
何々強くない
In
みたい
the
な
PEL
いや
so
わか
far.
る
These are
みたいな
very
そういう感じなんだ
rare
よだから女子高
occurrences
生なん
these
だよ
days. We don't tend to see those big
イメー
20
ジ
kill
的に
games.
は
Anything, I think it was the 15 kill club, I believe it was that Toffees used to talk about. Anything above that is
PL
very
は
impressive
あ
these
な
days with
ん
the
とか
club
強え
And bearing in mind, Crowcrowd,
終わり
T2 went
みたい
down
な
with 7 kills.
いややっぱ陰キャなんだよ
Crowcrowd
ね多分
alone, Desperados, I think, picked up maybe 9 kills
はい
in
い
there
系
as
な
well.
ん
So
だよ陰キ
it's
ャなん
very
だよ
impressive. Like, just between them, they've picked up half the lobby.
Christ, that's
あこいつら
terrifying
最
for
強
guys.
や終わり
Colementa actually goes
Third
down to the
place,
blue. That's
second
not bad.
place for Ents. So, I mean, positional-wise, yeah, they've got it. Now they're going to make a play.
Do something.
That's
悪
going to
口じゃないですよ
That's going to catch him.
If they dribble this one, I will lose
悪
it.
口じゃない
Not
です
gonna
Not
happen.
going to happen. Not with Bestolosh about, that's for sure.
Na'Vi.
16 kill game in the end for Na'Vi. A monstrous performance. They had a pretty poor week overall last week and a pretty poor day yesterday as well. So they needed that. 26 points.
だから
Obviously, they
PKL
had,
見てるとき PL 見てる勢は息を潜めて見てるでしょ